Hey everybody, it's Andy Smith, your host with the most, 34-year veteran of the comic book industry, back with part 2 of the book look of the art of Ryan MEINERDING. Man, I just don't know how to say that name. MEINERDING. That's what I'm going with. Okay. It's not about his last name, it's about his great art. We did the first half last week. If you missed it, go back, watch it. Ryan is head of VizDev, visual development, over at Marvel Studios. And he has built up a great visual development department over his time there, featuring one of my favorite guys and a friend, Andy Park, works there. Andy's spearheaded a few movies himself. So let's get back into it. This book is just chock filled with character designs, mostly character designs. All of this stuff done in Photoshop, which, you know, like I said before, just blows my mind. I feel about this stuff the way I feel about Alex Ross. I love Alex Ross's work. I love looking at it. It's a little too real for me, but it still has great comic book dynamics to it. And I think Ryan does that as well. For my own taste, if I was going to be doing Photoshop digital painting like this, I would like to incorporate more of my actual drawing style into it. But I love this type of rendering. I mean, guys, look at this. You know what this is a homage to. Captain America Annual by Mike Zeck. Except on that cover, it was Wolverine. But man, Ryan just, great job. Awesome. I love this behind the scenes stuff so much and love being able to get books like this. It's funny, I got a $25 gift card for Amazon for Christmas from a relative. And I haven't spent it yet because I'm teetering between, there's a couple graphic novels, collections of stuff from the Silver Age that I have my eye on, but then there's a couple art books, and I think I'm leaning towards the art books. Doctor Strange stuff. I'm just so impressed with how photographic his technique is. When I feel the need to pipe in, I will. But until then, I'm just take in the gloriousness. Look at this beautiful full image Dormammu. I mean, they really tapped into the Marvel Universe comics and how the stuff should look. Here is some Homecoming stuff. Let's see. So in the middle, this is a Spider-Man mask he made as a teenager. I just think that is so freaking cool. Of course, the classic John Romita shot. I just love that shot of Spider-Man. Great character sketching and stuff of the poses. Love this classic take on the cover. And then just the thought that went into the amount of designs. And then I love the eyes that open and stuff, like in the comics. That's cool. These different designs. You know, some hearkening back, like this one, to... that reminds me of one when Dan Jurgens was working on the book. His initial, when Peter Parker put his own little costume together, and like some key shots here. I love that in the movie when he put it on and it was kind of baggy and then swoop, nice and tight. Of course, good old web shooters. You know, the Vulture, I like that as a silhouette. I think that's cool. You got kind of like the eyes and the wings. I mean, as a silhouette, that looks great. But this didn't do too much for me with the jacket and stuff. It makes me want to go back and watch the first Spider-Man movie. His first solo movie. Oh yeah, Thor Ragnarok. Might have been kind of a goofy movie, but once again, the design work, the visuals were just great. Planet Hulk stuff here. Oh, so very cool. Black Panther, Wakanda Forever! Until Black Panther 2, that movie sucked. You know, when Chadwick Boseman first died, I was on the fence. I even said on one of our podcasts, I think they should, I was torn on whether they should recast him or not. Now I'm definitely on the end where, yes, they should have recast. They should have recast him and moved forward. Bumping Shuri up. No, you know, guys, who goes to most of these superhero movies? Guys do. We just didn't want to see Shuri as Black Panther. Sorry, nothing against her. Fine actress and whatever, but they just should have recast. Thanos. Just great looking designs here. Oh. Thanos' minions. You know, I'm sure when Ryan first started doing these VizDev paintings, he probably was like, you know, it's tough working on any piece of art, but to me, especially a painting where it's like, when do you stop? You don't want to go too far with it, you know? And I think he's probably at the point now where he's just like, yep, that's done. But in the beginning, because with the realism and stuff, you know, he might have been teetering like, is this done? Maybe I should work this up a little more. That's freaking cool. Love that shot there. Cap. Oh, yeah. Production concept art. Man. This was probably my favorite armor that he wore because it was so sleek and it moved so well and incorporated his anatomy in. Of course, Captain America. I remember seeing this at the end of Endgame on the extras. It wasn't totally finished in film, but it was something they pulled out where the Hulk was going around saving people and stuff. Still don't understand the tiny arm and why it's taking so long for it to grow back. We got Fat Thor fighting. He actually looks kind of pregnant. That's what's hysterical. See, I love these sketches. These are, I mean, if you look at the finished art in this that is so high quality, I'm calling these sketches because they are. They still took a long time, but they really are like just proof of concept sketches, and then to see if they should move on to finished pieces. I just love the way they look. That's cool, doing a concept piece, aging them up like that. This they actually made into a big poster, three separate pieces. And my daughter used to have it hanging up in her room. She didn't want it hanging up anymore, so I kept it, and I've got it rolled in a tube. More Spider-Man stuff. Good old Mysterio. I love what they did with Mysterio. I mean, they really, like, that is just cool. And it really stays in focus and concept with what they did in the book. You know, so cool. Even getting that in there was pretty freaking cool. Multiverse of Madness. The wheels might have been falling off the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but I tell you what, these designs are still cool. This, straight out of the, not straight out of, but I mean, that's kind of how he looked in the comics. Freaking U.S. agent, that's cool. Oh, What If? I love this What If section of the book because Ryan, and he even says it, if you read it, he got to play around with more of a fun, not as realistic, kind of cartoonier style. And it just shows how great of an artist he is. Look at this shot here of Bucky. And he mentions he's a fan of J.C. Leyendecker. And you can really tell in the digital painting technique he used here. I mean, these are so J.C. Leyendecker. That's just great. I mean, seeing this stuff, I'm like, I would love to see Ryan do a run of variant covers. I don't know if he has any interest in doing panel-to-panel stuff, if he'd be any good at it storytelling-wise. But I think that would be very cool to see. In this style, God, look at that. Just great expressions. I wish this was a full page, this Iron Man, instead of the Spider-Man here. Such a great style. Oh, Zombie Cap. I could just see a whole book of this where they just took these and put them on, full pages. Oh, and unfortunately we have to go to Eternals. Just such a bad movie. Designs are cool. That Icarus is really cool. That's what they should have went with. Oh, Spider-Man No Way Home. Now, this is cool because obviously the different shots up there, but then if you look down here, you got more of the John Romita type Spider-Man. But then he did like a McFarlane one with the big eyes and the webbing is tighter and closer together. And then he did one here as well, which is even a little more different. I think he even mentions Larson from Larson's run, and he mentions Ryan Stegman. So that's freaking cool. The amount of work and design stuff before you see what ends up on the screen is just amazing. Because until you do this VizDev stuff, you just don't know what's going to work and what isn't, Man, look at these. I look at this and I think to myself, what, 3 weeks to paint this? I mean, look at these. It's not like you can just copy and paste once you paint one of them because they're all in perspective and stuff. I wouldn't want to draw this tentacle this detailed in a comic book, let alone, wow. All I think of when I see this, and I literally have no idea what somebody like Ryan or Andy Park make in a year, but I just think to myself, it better be a couple $100 grand, $150 grand a year, if not more, for the amount of work and what they're bringing. If anybody has any insight, drop a comment and let me know what you think. Even Moon Knight. I mean, I actually, this is how he looked in the show. I like it. It's just they never showed him enough like that. It's like, hey, let's burn through 8 episodes, whatever it was, and never really show him in costume that much. We'll show him in that dumb suit that he wore. And then, Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness. Love that. That movie was worth it just for this one scene. Yes, She-Hulk, Attorney at Law. I mean, it was probably fun to do this. The show could have been better. Her visuals were good. Could have spent a little bit more in the CGI for her. Daredevil in his yellow costume. I just watched the Born Again trailer this morning. Woohoo! That looks good. Ugh. Black Panther 2, Wakanda Forever. God. Ugh. Talk about killing it. And then stuff for theme parks. That's cool. Love that. Comics. So he did do some variant covers for Marvel. I love that. I mean, it's a back shot. And back shots, usually you go, I don't do a back shot for a comic cover. That is freaking awesome. That's it. We get to the end. Love that shot of Spider-Man. Gives his thanks. Great shot there. And then just a little centerpiece that came with it. But, oh, look at that. I did the camera at the right height. Here's the back cover. Beautiful. So, yes, part 2 to the art of Ryan M. That's what I call him, Ryan M. Because I don't want to screw up his name again, because it's rather embarrassing when you can't pronounce a dude's name. So there you go. That is this week's book look. Next week, we'll do the book look of, I think it's like, the painting method, how to paint or design or whatever, basically digital paint the Marvel way. That's not the exact title. I've got it on a shelf. We'll look through it next week. Until then, thank you so much for joining me for these book looks. Go hit that like right down below. Take you 2 seconds. Hit the notification bell. Hit the subscribe button so you can subscribe to my channel. And you never miss out. Doesn't cost anything. And it'll just make you feel better. Until then, check out the trailer for KOR-DRATH, The Awakening. Guys, if everything goes well, I might be able to get this book to the printer a week from now. Woohoo! Let's go check it out. Go back the campaign today. What's it about? Check out the trailer. See you next time.